Working. Hold, please, people.
I mean, we are where we are.
They can hear me, but they can't hear you. Hi, everyone. Give me 1 second. You guys talk now. Nope.
Yes.
Hello, Internet.
You said you can hear us all? Oh, okay. Because it's not on mine, it is showing a big nothing bar for audio. But sure, let's just go with that. There we go. Go.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another episode of Motley Mondays.
We're going to cut all that out. I'm so sorry.
I'm not. I'm leaving all of it in. We are having a weird OBS, a slight OBS malfunction, but now it's fixed, and you can hear us, and we can hear us, and we're here to play a game. Announcements. Look at our schedule. We stream things, and also we do a podcast, and you should listen to it. It's very good. All of our streams are very good, and they're on our Twitch page, and they're on our Twitter, and they're on our website. That's all I got. Oh, I said I would say craft night. Morgan's gonna do a craft night this week.
Yay.
It's been on the schedule, but we haven't been able to do it in a while. Well, we're gonna do it this week. Yay! Thursday night, craft night, Tuesday, Match Pony. Other stuff is happening on this channel, and it's all very good, and you should watch it. That's all the announcements I have. So today, we have all my friends. Not all my friends. All of these people are my friends, though, and some of them live in my house, and we're all gonna play a game together. You get to guess which ones live in my house. And we're all gonna play a game together. So today, I am going to be running a one-shot of Sexy Battle Wizards, which is not the D&D we usually play on this game. It is a new-ish, mostly new, one-page tabletop RPG by the wonderfully talented Grant Howitt, who made Honey Heist, which I've run on this channel, and The Witch is Dead, which I've run on this channel, and Crash Pandas, which I've run on this channel. I love your games, Grant. They're amazing. Thank you for making them. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But real quick, we are gonna do the roll tables and make characters. Who wants to start?
I will.
Okay. Oh yeah, you should, because you're our actual resident battle wizard.
Cool.
So we'll do the stats. I have it on there as step 1 because that's how it was in the PDF, but I'm gonna do that last. So first, Dylan, roll a d6 to figure out why you're so sexy. This game is called Sexy
good.
Battle Wizards, and I don't think I have to explain it to anyone at home.
Ooh,
What did you roll, sir?
1.
Okay. You have sculpted muscles.
My sculpted muscles.
Put that on your handout that I gave you under why you're so sexy. Okay. And then you're going to roll for your weapon. So you're going to roll a d10 for the descriptor, and then a d10 for the weapon.
I got a 2
Okay.
and a 6.
That you have a I don't know how to say this word. Someone say this word for me.
Sepulchral.
Like sepulcher, but something else. Cannon.
Sepulchral cannon.
You get to decide what that means. And now roll a d6 and tell us what magical school that your character belongs to.
A 4. Celestial.
Nope, you're on the wrong table.
I'm on the wrong table.
It's the Arcana of the Supreme Doorway. Okay.
Yes.
So now what you will do...
There's a big red sticker with white text that just says Supreme.
Yes.
So yeah, that's your character. So now what you will do is you have 3 stats. They are sexy, battle, and wizard. This game is based on d6s, so what the number that your stat is tells you how many d6s you roll when you use that stat. So you're gonna assign a 1 to one of those, a 2 to one of those, and a 3 to one of those, and that's how you make a freaking character in this game. Is that easy?
Cool.
So you could do that. You don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but you can.
Oh no, I'm putting. I'm gonna put 3 into sexy,
All right.
2 into wizard, and 1 into battle.
Okay. You have a cannon.
The muscles are just for show. The muscles and
You're to
cannon
carry
are
the
just for
cannon.
show. I love it.
It did specify that I had to be good with it. But I do in fact own it.
That's great. So that's your Sexy Battle Wizards tutorial. For everybody else, I'm going to sort of let you guys do all of yours at the same time because I think it'll be funny.
And just read off what we
Okay.
get at the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you
All
want.
right.
Well, or we can go through them. Depends on what you guys want to do.
Depends if
You
you
want to
really
say them so you
have any-
don't.
Yeah, duplicates.
Yeah, let's just do it. Have you guys in an order in a list. Hang on. I'm just gonna say when I say your name, roll a d6. Morgan.
Okay. D6. 4.
Okay, you have amazing bone structure. Sean.
I love it.
I think these you can share if you want.
3.
You have impeccable style. Alex.
6.
You are a dangerous rebel with a cool jacket.
These are so good.
Nice.
I can't believe you all rolled different things. Okay. Let's weapons. Just going around. Sean, roll a d10.
Is it 2d10 or is it just the d10?
Well, one at a time. So yeah.
Okay.
Roll there. Or I guess you're doing on roll 20, so you
Yeah,
can just.
let's do left to right. I got a 9 and a 4.
You have a Rift Giselle, which is a big gun.
All right, a rift gun.
You have a Rift gun.
Just
Don't
like
know.
Dauntless.
Don't know what
Alright.
that means.
Oh. That sounds like it.
Whatever that means to you.
I gotta find a picture of
Alex,
All right.
your weapon. This game is hilarious.
Ooh, that's a 1 and a 10.
Okay, that's a void shield. I don't think. Well, yeah, I guess you can use a shield as a weapon. That's very good.
Captain America now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It does in fact have a cool jacket.
Oh no, are you just Captain America?
I guess I'm now Captain America.
Okay. Morgan.
Chris Evans is the sexiest battle wizard.
Yeah.
That's
Alright,
Aaron's ass.
That's now.
Oh, I got a 2. So
Let's do a different one for the weapons.
change it up. Whoa, that just went out of the thing. A 6.
Okay, that's a Fae.
Okay.
Something. Roll a d10.
Faye something. Fade 9.
You have a Fae fist.
Fey Fist.
Yes. Magical fairy fists.
Which I guess that could be like a gauntlet or something, or it could just
These
be your
actually
Fae.
worked out really well. Because, like, I've got the gun and Anthony's got the shield.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how did this happen?
And Dylan has a cannon. Just like old times.
Yep.
Okay, let's do your magical schools. Whose turn is it to go first? We're
Oh,
already
yeah.
past the train.
I think it's my turn.
Sure.
Uh,
You could have lied. I would probably still say yes.
2.
Path of Beasts.
Okay,
I wanted
a bit now. But yep. All right.
Could be water beasts. You got a shark.
Shark Wizard. Morgan.
Okay. So D6? Yeah.
Yes, this is 2-6.
3.
You are the secrets of occult shadowmancy
Oh.
Jeez.
with your fists.
My fists.
Sean,
I got a 6.
that's the way of 10,000 mirrors.
Yes.
Okay. So now you guys can do your stats. So you
Let's
have sexy,
Fight
battle.
some vampires.
Yeah, you guys are not doing that today. Or are you? I have a weird energy right now. I'm gonna apologize for it now because it's gonna carry through the rest of the 3 hours that we're doing this. So you have 3 stats: sexy, battle, and wizard. Put a 1, a 2, and a 3.
I assume we want
One of
the
each of those.
better stat to be the bigger number.
Yes. So the way that the stats work in this game is you roll a number of d6s every time you do something. So the stat that I tell you to roll with, it's that number of d6s. If your wizard is 3 and I tell you to roll wizard, you'll roll 3 d6s. So yeah, whatever you want to be the best at, put the 3 and then the 2 and the 1. And I don't know, you can talk about it and like spread yourselves around, or you cannot. You can do whatever you want.
Now, since I'm apparently Captain America, now I have America's ass. I'm debating whether where the 2 and the 3 go between sexy and battle.
Ooh, that is a good question. Well, I was thinking battle because I have a fist of punching.
Is anyone going a high score? Well, Dylan took a 2 in wizard. I don't think anyone else is taking. I'm not taking any wizard. I got 1
you have to have
wizard.
something.
I know. I'm saying I'm taking a 1 and taking my
No,
wizard.
0 wizard. You are sexy battle.
Well, in that
I
case,
think that's a very different kind of game. One that even with mature filter on, we're not allowed to stream.
Sexy battle presented by the Game Knights.
oh no. Okay, wait. So Sean, you're gonna go with which one?
I think
Which-
I'm going 3 in sexy,
Okay.
2 in battle,
Okay.
1 in wizard.
Okay. And what were you thinking, Alex?
I'm leaning towards 2 in sexy, 3 in battle, 1 in wizard.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just go 3 in wizard, 2 in battle, and 1 in sexy.
That works.
Okay.
Got that impeccable bone structure. Or,
I
sorry, that
know. I can't be panched.
structure.
I will say,
The
even
impeccable
if
bone
sexy,
structure is her knuckles.
even if your lowest stat isn't sexy, you're all very sexy.
Yes.
So, yeah, them's the breaks. That's characters. That's how you make characters. We just did that in like 5 minutes. So, does anybody have any questions before we begin? Because the mechanics are pretty easy, and we'll learn them on the fly. But
Can we just go through our wizards, like weapons and why we're
yeah,
sexy?
let's
one by
do
one?
that really quick. Where are we on the? I was gonna look at the overlay. So yeah, tell us about your character real quick. Sean, go first. Give us the rundown of what you have.
Okay. So Pod, I guess now is impeccable style. He has his Rift Giselle, which I looked up. It's like an old like African safari like hunting rifle. That's what it kind of looks like. He and I'm the way of 10,000 mirrors. I'm not gonna do any descriptions because I have absolutely no context for what's going on right now.
No, you will in a minute.
Okay.
Dylan, tell us what Hal is gonna be working with.
Hal is sexy because of his sculpted muscles. His signature weapon is a sepulchral cannon, which I think just means a cannon that kills people.
I was about to ask, have we
Which is
googled
kind of
sepulchral yet?
Well, I'm assuming it means something I'm assuming it means something about a sepulcher.
All right, kind of Google.
So I have a death cannon, which is pretty sweet. And my magic school is Arcane of the Supreme TM Doorway.
Alex.
Atherby's now sexy because he's got he's a dangerous rebel with a cool jacket, wielding a void shield, and apparently studied in the path of beasts.
It's wonderful. That's funny.
Morgan.
Okay, and Wild just is sexy because of his amazing bone structure, and he now fights with his Fey fists, and was trained in the secrets of occult shadowmancy.
Okay. So that's what's happening. We're gonna we're gonna try to play this game now. I'm gonna try to run it. I want to change the music really quick.
And yes, Dylan, you're right. It's relating to a tomb or interment. It's gloomy or dismal. Imagine a lot of skulls
A tomb
It just shoots
cannon.
skulls.
and lace.
It shoots coffins. It just shoots coffins. It's a cannon that shoots
I
coffins.
can do that.
Like coffin-shaped bullets, or just straight up wooden coffins.
I mean, imagine like the Buster Sword, in how ridiculously huge this cannon is.
Ah, yes.
I've taken the cannon off of a battleship, and I am currently wielding it with my 2 hands. And it shoots caskets at people.
All right, let's play a game. Everybody ready? I changed the music. That means that the game is happening. I think that's what I learned from videos on YouTube. Okay, so I will start with Wild, Atherby, and Pod. Boy, howdy, it's been a while since we played this game and I don't remember any of your names. So you all have been on several adventures together at this point, the 3 of you. And you find yourselves coming off of your last interesting adventure, stopping at a roadside inn to bed down for the night before you head out to whatever your next contract or job or grand adventure is going to be. And while you are sleeping, you all have a very strange dream. It's all the same one. It's dark and quiet for a very long time as you all fall into this deep sleep, and then slowly before you, this light starts to rise and glow like a sunrise, and you see in your mind's eye a figure walking towards you. And as they approach, they smile and they feel familiar to you. You don't feel like you can place them necessarily, but it is like greeting a friend. And before you see this person who has walked close to you smile. They have very angular elven features, tan skin, sort of long, wild blonde hair sort of flowing out behind them with leaves and flowers all braided throughout. And they smile at you and boop you on the nose, and they disappear. And you all wake up with a very... you hear a very loud thud, and you all sort of feel like you have been thrown to the floor on your backs. You are laying, the 3 of you, on a cold tile floor in a brightly lit atrium of some kind as you come to consciousness. Hal, you're I should have really warned you what you're going to be doing, but I didn't, so here you go. You're a sexy battle wizard, and you've always been a sexy battle wizard. You find yourself this one fine wizardly morning, sexy morning, if you will. It might even be a battle morning, you're not sure yet. Enjoying your coffee as you have just woken up and come downstairs from your room in the College Errant, the organization that you are a part of. This is an organization that you know is based in a magical flying castle. It is a group of sexy battle wizards that roams the land, fighting crime.
Cool.
Even though you have no authority to do so, and all the cops hate you, and think you're generally terrible.
Okay.
You don't care.
So
Because
I'm getting a very like College of Winterhold vibe.
Yep. It's like
Alright.
that, but the castle's flying.
Oh, sweet.
And you walk through the atrium in probably your robe and bare feet with your coffee, and there are 3 strangers lying on the floor. What do you all do?
What Sam Hill is going on here?
I just sort of I look down at them and just sort of and like step over them on my way. I'm just like, oh god.
They do look like they might be sexy battle wizards, but you've never seen them before.
And what is this place called?
The College Errant.
College Errant.
So we're all sexy now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're all in different bodies.
Guys, I don't feel quite right.
Me neither, but you both look amazing. Like, I'm questioning some things about myself. That's how amazing you all look.
What's going on here? What? What happened to my voice? Is that... Who are you? Who are you incredibly attractive people?
How there are now 3 strangers kind of yelling at each other from the floor of your lobby.
Hello, can I help you?
Yeah, can you tell us where the hell we are and why the hell we suddenly look so goddamn amazing?
Oh god, new people. Okay. Hello.
Nice.
Welcome to the College Errant. I am my students call me Mr. Apeno, but you can call me Hal. Yeah.
I just want to make sure your name is Hal Epeno. Is that correct? Am I saying that right?
Yes, that is correct. But you no need to call me by my last name, Apeno. You can just call me Hal.
Right. So this is like a school, and you're a teacher?
Pretty much.
What do you teach?
Well, here at the College Errant, we are all about providing the world by being sexy battle wizards. And we all strive to be the sexiest, battliest, wizardiest people on the planet. So I teach people how to do that.
You don't seem like you want to do this very much.
No, I really do. I love my job.
But the indifference almost makes you more attractive.
I have been told that before. No, the work we do here is very important, and I am very happy to be here. Been doing this all my life.
Right. So, does just anybody who comes here becomes sexy?
No,
You're all look
pretty much have to be born with it, or have it bestowed upon you by some magical being. Yeah, there's this sort of big thing with like in the college, just to warn you about. Big thing of like people who are born with it think they're better than the people who have it bestowed upon them, but we're all equals. Yeah, so you guys want a tour, I guess, or
Hal, as you ask the people that you found on the floor in the lobby this question, you receive a magical missive, which is just a piece of parchment that you hear this kind of crackling, a popping sound, and you know it's about to happen, that just sort of appears in the air in front of you. And Hal, you're being sent on a mission
Oh, great.
to deal with some wizardly crime. You are being sent to an estate where there have been reports of some strange magic happening, and you are supposed to assemble a team of your finest students and TAs and go deal with it. This is a very high-profile client.
Ah. Well, today.
But all of your students are home for Thanksgiving break.
Today is your lucky day. We are going to skip the introductory tour and we are going to go straight into fieldwork, which is very exciting for all of you, I know. So yeah, please get up off the floor, dust yourselves off, make yourself look presentable, and we'll get right to work.
I don't know how we could not look presentable, so I think we're just about ready to get going.
You have already learned.
I have one question. You said we're new bodies. Are we completely different people, or are we just like sexy versions of ourselves?
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Because I kind of want to just be a big, sexy kobold.
So you're like a dragonborn now, is what you're telling me.
No, I'm a big, sexy kobold.
Are you saying big, like you're bigger than a kobold?
Yes,
or
I'm Pod, but now I'm like 6 feet tall.
you're like a dragon man?
And I'm a kobold.
Okay. Yes.
Gonna die on this hill.
Slim, well dressed. I look like a hipster.
Yeah, let's
big curly mustache.
let's talk about what you guys think you look like. 'Cause I also want to know what Hal looks like. So you're just a very large, impeccably styled version of Pod
Yes.
with a mustache.
With a mustache. Big curly, like handlebar mustache.
Okay.
And glasses, like big hipster frame glasses.
Do they have lenses in them?
No.
Okay.
Why would I need those?
Didn't think so. G with the best joke of the day in chat said, but what about in-game, Sean?
Aw, thank you, G.
Love that. That's wonderful. This is a good game. What do the rest of you... I don't want to play any sort of story. I just want to do this for the rest of the day. What do the rest of you look like? For real.
I think Atherby actually mostly looks the same because he now has the cool jacket, so I think it's like just the Grease style leather jacket. It's got like seaweed accents, and he also has sunglasses that just won't come off. Like I'll take them off and chuck them in. They're just more there.
That's wonderful.
I'm also imagining like really white teeth for some reason, just like bleach white, like
like
whitening
teeth?
strips way too
Every
long.
time he opens his mouth.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
But that's my headcanon. That doesn't have to be real.
I don't know. I mean, Wild was already pretty tall, but I think they're just like he's less fluffy than before. Like he just kind of like slimmed out a little bit, and you could like see the muscles now. You can see his impeccable bone structure. How's he dressed? He definitely doesn't have a shirt on.
All right.
And so you can like sort of see the weird sort of like Motley like sort of looking tattoos on his back, and probably has like a little scarf.
This music.
That's very good. Do you like it?
Smooth lovin'.
Yeah, do you like
It's
it?
good.
All right.
Okay, yeah. What's Hal working with?
A lot. So Hal is, as you may remember, just sculpted. I mean, he looks like he is made of marble. He is so buff. But he's so buff, it's like straight out of a comic book where like his clothes, he's wearing clothes, but you can see every individual ab and like muscle fiber.
All
like,
12 of them.
All 12 muscle fibers in his body.
I meant abs, but okay.
No, he is the beefiest of beefcakes. But like long black hair, bags under his eyes, but like the sexy kind. Not the like, oh god, he's working himself to death, but the like, ooh, edgy sleepy boy who also looks like a statue that was carved by the hands of a Greek god.
Okay. This is a good content. Great. So, Hal, you, excuse me, have the following information. There's not much of it. You are being sent to the estate of Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford. You've been here before. This is a very high-profile client, and every time he has some sort of dinner party or get-together, or maybe just like wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one day, he calls for help from the sexy battle wizards of the college errant. He has now reported some suspicious wizardly activity happening somewhere in his estate. And you have to go because he's hella rich and a huge donor. So that's what you guys are doing. Is there anything that the rest of you would like to do before you leave?
Do we already have our weapons, or is that gonna happen?
No, you just have them.
Magic doodads.
Yeah, you just
I
have
would
them.
like to make sure I walk them by the full body mirrors on our way out.
That's actually the walls of the atrium, like wherever there aren't doors, it's just mirrors. This is all mirrors.
Cool.
I feel a strange connection to these mirrors. I don't know why.
Yeah, this place is very interesting. I feel very different here. So what are we supposed to do? Teach? Or how?
No, I am the teacher, so I'll be the one teaching, I guess. So basically, we've got a high-profile client. He's called in some suspicious wizard activity at his estate, and so we gotta go check it out.
Okay.
So let's go, team.
Hal, how do you think the wizards of the college errant travel?
It's dependent on, you know, if a sexy battle wizard is going solo, they might just go motorcycle. But if it's a small group, like this one, then perhaps a small private jet.
That is sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Hang
pass-
gliders.
The sexiest of air travel.
If they're close by, you know, if we wanted to just go into town, we could just use a hang glider. We each have the college, they're kind of like bicycles, where colleges can like rent out bicycles to use around campus. You pay for the time that you use them, but instead of bicycles, it's hang gliders.
Okay. So yeah, I think Hal, you escort your new proteges through the atrium of mirrors, and out the large ornate front doors of the college errant. You walk past several students sitting around on the quad and laughing with their fancy coffee cups in hand, impeccably coiffed hair and clothing, and just enough wind to like tousle them to where it doesn't get messed up, but it looks very good. A few of them sort of
We
getting
are at the perfect altitude.
getting ready to take their hang gliders to class. You've written so much lore in the last minute of this game, and it's wonderful.
Well, that's what happens when I improv.
And you take them to, because you know for a fact, because you've been there before, that Sir Rutherford does in fact have a landing strip for his own private jets and things. So yeah, you take a jet, I guess, which there are in this world now. The rest of you don't. I mean, you saw that one weird airship that one time.
As long as this doesn't get hijacked by goblins again, then... End of sentence.
End of sentence. But yeah, you load up onto one of the college errant's jets and take off into the skies. You can see out the windows of this jet, and the three of you that are not Hal, you can sort of see down below the landscape. You're sort of near a coastline, and the landscape, especially those of you that are familiar with the area, looks very similar to the Sword Coast and to the sort of Faerun that you are used to,
But sexier.
but you're in a plane, so there's that. You're definitely not home, but it doesn't look maybe as different as you would expect. And you fly for a few minutes, and very soon you fly over this very large, sort of sprawling estate. You land, planes land, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of narration for this. You land on this private airstrip, and you find yourselves on the airstrip of the estate of Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford. And it is this very sort of large manor house up on a hill, this kind of sprawling estate. There are like some stables off to one side and some horses very wonderfully and beautifully galloping around a paddock where horses might tread, and other things that rich people might have. I wish I knew.
Bocce ball.
Yeah. Yes, there are some patrons playing bocce ball on the lawn.
We also
Okay.
have bi-monthly bocce ball tournaments at the College Errant, if that is something you are interested in pursuing.
Maybe I get. Yeah, sure.
Does Pod have a tail?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the tail is still, because a long tail wouldn't be as sexy. I think it's still like basically the same length that it was before.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
All right, so getting a feel for your new sexy bodies. Yeah, the three of you I
Get a feel for them, all right.
have also realized on the plane flight over that strapped to you in various ways, a couple of you have some new. You don't have any of your other things. You have no stuff except for your shield. Atherby, you have a shield on your back, and Pod, you have a very large gun on your back. And Wild, you can see that your other two friends have these weapons, and I think sort of on the ride over, you notice this strange like tingling in your knuckles, and they just feel much stronger than usual. And also they sparkle purple a little bit because I think that's what Fae do.
That's magical. I love it.
just a little bit, just like a little shimmer.
It's like every morning you have a bowl of glitter that you but you're not.
I'm set.
Magical.
Huh. Well, do we normally fight things as a sexy battle wizard? Or what do we...
Well, seeing as battling is in fact 1/3 of our title, we do fight things.
Okay. Maybe I could find a weapon somewhere, because you have something and you have something, but I don't know where my stuff went.
How do you carry your cannon?
It's strapped to my back like a it's seriously like think Cloud's Buster sword.
You just have like the broadsider strapped to your back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Hal has a giant cannon strapped to his back.
Huh.
Like
I
you
don't get
don't
fan
know
art of
how
these
I'm not
characters
falling
in
over.
Riot. Okay. So
So much.
Hey, Wild.
Yeah.
Just remember that the weapon might be in your heart.
Oh. I
Are you
get that.
suggesting
Okay.
he tears out his own heart and throws it at his enemies?
No, but positive reinforcement is sexy. And as your teacher, I try and practice good habits.
Hal, can you? Let's do a roll. I want to have somebody roll for something. Can you roll for sexy for me to see how convincing you are?
Absolutely. So I
So
roll
what's your sexy stat?
3.
So you roll 3d6, and I think you pick the highest one. Yeah. So the difficulty only goes up to 6, and so you roll that number of dice. You pick whichever.
Okay.
Tell me whichever one is the highest, and that's what you got.
6.
Okay. That's very good. So Wild, like I think the tone of his voice is like at first was a little off-putting, but I think you're like getting used to it, and now it's like Pod was right. Like somehow the indifference does make him even more sexy.
Wow. Well, thank you for your words of wisdom.
You're welcome, Wild. Or it could be your fists. Could be your weapon. Just the glowing sort of.
Yeah, they did seem a little different.
Yeah. That's cool though.
I guess we'll see.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you are sort of all walking through. I guess walking seems
Strutting.
like not the right word, but strutting through something that sexy people do through the estate, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, and you make your way to the grand entrance using the very elaborate and large door knocker. Hal, I think you knock 3 times on the door, and the door very quickly is sort of flung open, and inside you see this large, very ornate, it's kind of gaudy, like almost everything in the room is like gold leaf, and it's all just very shiny and fancy and things like that. And at the door, Hal, you see Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, who has answered his own door, which probably means he's drunk. And
Nice.
he is this very outlandishly, very flamboyantly dressed man who sort of answers the door, wine glass in hand, and says, "Hal, darling, you came.
Hello, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford.
Oh, you remembered. Wonderful. Come in, come in. Who are your friends? names?
Sir Callahan, these are my students. They are the team I put together for your mission. This is Wild, Atherby, and
Sean, what was your name?
Pod.
Pod.
Wonderful.
I actually no. That happens. That actually happens. I go Wild, Atherby, and I look at Pod and I lean over to him and I go, "What was your name again?"
Pod.
And Pod.
Wonderful, all of you. The college errant never disappoints. Well, come in. We're having a dinner party.
Is our mission a dinner party?
That is a great question, Pod. Sir Callahan, I was under the impression that there was some, and I pull out the note, suspicious wizard activity on the premises of your estate.
Well, there is, darling. You know, when all these noble sorts get together, at least one of them is dabbling in the occult.
That is true. Well, lead the way.
Wonderful. Wine? Any of you? All of you?
Maybe after the mission's done.
I'll have his.
Just a little, please.
Sir Callahan, you know how I like my wine.
I feel like you're making a joke, darling, so I'm going to let you say the punchline for your friends.
No, I make it strong.
Wonderful. This way. And with a flourish and a little bit of a stumble to one side, he sort of leads you through this very, very extravagantly decorated home of his to a large, grand hall where on every wall there are paintings of Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, and next to the vases there are sculptures and busts of Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, and it's just very fancy and great. And this
Are they
is
like the kind that it's just like his head on like a beautiful body, or is it just like
yeah, yep, they are they are now. Yeah, so this is what I think this is what the inside of the states look like, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
more or less.
Okay.
That's legit?
And so somebody was saying something.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, inside there is in this large hall, sort of on one side there are tables and people chatting and having hors d'oeuvres and charcuterie, and those are the only two I could think of. There's another one that's vegetables, but I can't remember it. And lots of wine. And there's a large sort of cleared space in the center on the very fancy, gaudy tile, where there are some people dancing and having a grand old time. Oh, wait. I think I have a different music for this. And I think you are all really, really out of place as this is happening. Yeah, let's do some different music. Let's do this one. That's fun. Okay. So yeah, you enter this this party where a smooth jazz band is playing in one corner, and there are lots of people dancing, lots of people in very fancy dress, sort of drinking and cavorting, and doing lots of different things. It's also like 10 in the morning. Pretty sure I said it was morning earlier, so that's what's happening.
So I guess we just hang out until something bad happens? Maybe keep a lookout.
That seems to be all we do.
I've never been to a fancy party like this, so I don't know what's normal or not.
As you're talking, a butler sort of comes by with a tray with four glasses of wine. But they all have inscribed on them in like fancy gold lettering your names, but there's two that say pod. There's one that's like only half full that says wild, and then Hal. There's one for you as well.
Oh.
In my experience, what you do at these parties is steal everything that isn't nailed down, so that's what I'm going to start with.
Pod,
Huh?
I'm not sure where you came from or what you're used to doing, but there will be no thieving, no stealing, unless it is required for the mission.
As you take your glasses and the butler goes to leave Pod, he walks by very close to you and says, take everything, and then walks away.
I down one of them and then stick the cup in my in my pocket.
Hal, I'm not sure you should have said that because I feel like he's gonna take that as a challenge now. Pod's pretty good at being sneaky.
Mhm.
It's because I'm
Yeah.
so tiny. I say in my new 6'tall" body.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we should socialize and see what we can learn about the situation and report back to me if you find anyone dabbling in the arts.
Sir Rutherford, is there anyone in particular that you think is most likely to fraternize with the occult?
Oh, darling, it could be any of them. All of them, really. It could be me, for all I know. And he walks away.
Well, that wasn't very helpful. I'm sure
Good
we'll
luck, and I
that.
walk away.
I also walk away.
Everyone's just leaving.
Yeah, gonna have to think a bit. I find myself at a bit of a loss of what to do. I feel like I'm no longer able to make, good investigation, inquiry or perceiving what is going on exactly.
I mean, I guess we could just look around for things that look wizardy, I guess.
So as everyone dramatically walks away and Wild and Atherby lament that they're not playing Dungeons and Dragons this week, there is a sort of loud slamming sound as one of the doors on one of the sides of the hall flies open, and a young woman in a very revealing maid outfit comes running out of the hallway and sort of puts one hand to her forehead and says, oh no, something's happened to the library, and then she faints.
I catch her.
You were like 100 feet away across the room, but you
Can
do
I use magic
somehow.
to catch her?
Yeah,
I'm not good at magic. She may just explode.
You can try to you can try to do something wizard, or you can also try to do something sexy.
Well, sexy is, charm cuties, your slick style and rock and bod. Can I use my rock and bod to rock it over there and get, I don't know.
I want to take away a dice from you because of the plan you just made. Yes, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. Yep. So
All right.
roll however many d6s you have for
That's
sex.
3.
Okay, roll 3d6, and then you would take whichever the highest is.
It's a 5.
Okay, yeah, that is sexy enough. So I think the rest of you see this happen, and then see Pod as if propelled.
I do have like 50 feet of movement per round, so
Not in this game. What did I say?
use my cunning action to dash.
Not in this game. you use your sexy rockin' bod to dash. But it looks great. It doesn't look like he's exerting any effort at all. It's as if he is like gliding across the floor and somehow magically.
I catch her with one arm, and I still have my drink in the other, and I'm like mid-sip when I catch her.
This
That
happens.
scene from the first Spider-Man movie where he catches the.
Yeah.
So
I throw it up in the air. I do a series of backflips over her. I catch it, and then I catch her.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Yes, this happens. This does happen. The rest of you see this happen.
Wow. Potter's really good at the sexy stuff.
Maybe it was always this good, and now it's just coming to the fore. Something about this place where it seems to make every small action, even the simplest of things, downright sexual. Or sexy. No, there's a very clear difference.
Atherby's intelligence is still the same now.
I look down at her and say, "Are you all right?"
I am now. As she faints again. Because I said she fainted the first time, but I forgot.
Oh.
She like gets up for her faint and then just goes back down.
She does. She sort of comes to, like, flutters her eyelashes and says, "I'm okay now." Oh, but she faints again.
I just hand her to one of the serving staff, and then we go and head towards the library, I guess.
You pass her off towards this butler who's just jacked. Very tan. And he says, "I'll take it from here."
Thank you. Look at his name card. Dwayne.
"You're welcome," he says, because Dwayne, the butler, whispers everything, and he takes the maid away, and you all head towards the library.
And just before I head over there, I see the whole thing. And just like with my wine in my hand, just under my breath. Damn, he's good. And then I head that way.
Okay. So that happens. Yeah. So the four of you head down at the urging of Lord what's his fuck? I can't even remember what I named him at this point. Oh, he had so many names.
Davenport Rutherford.
Yes, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford. Thank you.
Lord
yes.
Aberforth.
You at his urging make your way down this very large fancy hallway toward what I assume someone will have pointed out as the library. You all make your way to this very large oak door. On the door itself and also sort of around the edges of it are all of these sigils, like inscribed into it. And Hal, you're a practiced wizard, and so I think there is a large sort of ornate sign over the top of the door that in some very old, dead arcane language reads, "Occult Library."
Well, that'll do it.
Is this one of those mansions where it's so big the Lord doesn't even know everything that's in here? So I feel like he
Yes.
would have pointed us to this straight off.
Yeah, no, that is it's pretty much like this every time. He will call us and have no clue what's going on, but we figure it out, and that would
Zoom
be
off on our
That
motorcycle.
Dwayne
would
rides
be
by on a
for
motorcycle.
Callahan Davenport Rutherford's prized motorcycle. He must be taking it around the track for a few laps to impress the guests, as it tends to happen. Anyway, so Atherby, you are correct in assuming that he probably doesn't know this is here.
Well, let's head on in and see what dastardly wizard crimes are afoot. and Atherby will go to open the library doors.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if there was nothing in there? Just
How
kidding.
sexy does he open the doors?
Yeah, just tell us how
Oh.
good Atherby is at opening doors.
He
While I put on the music.
readjusts his jacket so it fits even better than it did a second ago, rolls his shoulders, and just pushes open.
Just like flexing your like triceps and delts and
Yep.
other muscles.
Right. This
The
happens.
doors, you'll come to find that doors, especially in on wealthy properties, are always really heavy, so that you have to flex when you open them.
Right.
That's Dwayne from behind you. So yes, this happens at Atherby expertly and very sexily opens a door. And it looks even cooler for the rest of you who are behind this deviously dressed I was gonna say rogue, and I was like, I can't say that because you're not the rogue. And I was like, I don't care, different game. As this very exciting and wonderful and dramatic light sort of emanates from the library and silhouettes Atherby and his muscles and his jacket and his sunglasses perfectly in the door, because part of the occult library is engulfed in flames. And from around one of the bookshelves, as it starts to sort of crackle, as the pages sort of go up and the shelves are starting to disintegrate, you see this large tendril of fire sort of lash out as something comes around the bookshelf, sort of almost lashed onto it, as this creature sort of made of fire, in almost a humanoid shape, and it's almost got this mouth that opens up as it comes around and lets out this very loud, growling, crackling sound. Hal, I mean, I think you've seen this before. You're a very accomplished wizard. This guy's got some ding-dang elementals in his library.
This guy's got some ding-dang elementals in his library.
Okay.
Well, now's the time to show us what you got. And by us, I mean me. Show me what you got, guys.
What do you do?
Atherby's gonna rush forward and try and boop this thing on the snoot with the void shield.
Okay. Battle. Roll to battle.
Those are all fours. All three of them 4.
What is looking at the difficulties? Okay, 4 standard. This feels like that's fine. Sexy battle wizard stuff. Yeah, so I think you all see Atherby as this very fun, like, sort of electronic music starts to play from seemingly nowhere in this library, getting louder and louder. Atherby almost sort of in beat runs forward and just slams into this with your what shield? What is it?
Void shield.
Well, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say, I mean, you do this. What does it do?
Yep. I don't know if this would start getting too much into wizard, but I think as like it senses magic that's getting close to it, like starts swirling on the front and is like sucking some of the flames in.
Yes, it do that. So yeah, you sort of run forward Captain America style with the shield, and as you impact into kind of the center mass of this large fire creature, which you do hit. You don't sort of go through. It's not just flames. There's definitely something in there. The rest of you can see these flames start to lessen a little bit around the edges and suck in towards Atherby's void shield. Hey, what do the rest of you do?
Are there people in danger? Like, panicking, not sure where to go? Running around?
Not in the library. Should there be? Do you want there to be?
I mean,
I changed my mind. There is coming sort of, you see through Pod as the flames of of this elemental sort of part for just a moment. You can see trapped behind a desk toward the back of the occult library, a very sexy librarian calling out to you for help. What do you do?
Maid check, librarian check. Okay.
The librarian can look like whatever you want them to look like.
Sure. I think what Pod is going to do is, using a combination of his sexiness and his way of 10,000 mirrors, suddenly just dozens and dozens of illusions of sexy Pod appear around the room to distract the elemental, as Pod does another series of overly complicated backflips to then launch himself through the fire and grab the librarian, then come like rolling out on the other side is what I'm trying to do.
Okay, I feel like you're doing sexy battle and wizard.
Probably. So I just roll 5 dice, right? 6 dice?
No, I think
9.
I guess if you're relying on the illusions to allow you to do this, it's going to be wizard.
Okay, well, it's probably the worst it could be. About time one of us failed.
You've only rolled like 3 times.
That's a 1.
That's bad. Okay, so yeah, I think you start to summon these illusions of yourself, but the heat of the room has really thrown you off, and also you don't know what you're doing.
I don't.
Todd. You have no idea what you're doing. You're sort of going with instinct. And I think as this fire creature is sort of battling head to head with Atherby, it sort of notices what you're trying to do, and there is this like burst of heat in the room, and as quickly as the illusions appear, they sort of shatter like glass around it. So it seems like the spell didn't work. You get something for fail it. Mark 1 stress and 1 determination.
What do those do?
So determination, you can spend 1 for 1 to add another d6 to a roll.
Okay.
So if you fail, you get stuff that will help you do better on rolls later. For stress, if you roll something and you fail, if the number that you have for stress is higher than the highest dice that you rolled, you explode in a burst of magic and reform back in the Chapel of Ages of the College Errant for a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
So
Okay.
you die.
I respawn.
You
Okay.
respawn, essentially. So once you have stress, keep track of what your stress is, because if you have a bunch of it, if your highest dice that you roll, because that's the one that you take, is higher than your stress, then you explode briefly.
Is it higher or lower?
Higher. So if you roll and you fail a roll, if your highest dice is higher than your stress.
Is it that, or if the stress is higher than your
I don't know.
Because if it's higher
I
than
wrote-
stress, my stress is 1. Everything's gonna be higher. Than
It's whatever is right.
Okay.
Hold on.
Just
Okay.
curious.
When you fail, I was trying to find it so I could read it. Sorry. When you fail, if your total final stress is higher than the highest dice you rolled, are the words I was trying to say.
Okay.
So once your stress starts to get high, you get in trouble.
Okay.
So if you fail a roll, if your stress is higher than what you rolled, you explode.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Gotcha.
So if you rolled a 1 again, then you'd explode. Got it. Okay.
Sorry, I took this off the rails. Continue with this.
No, that's okay. It was confusing. It's not confusing. I just don't really know how to read, but very good. Yeah, you don't do very good at illusions though this time. And I think you see very dramatically as the music swells in the background and this dramatic sting, the librarian look at you very distressed, and then the flames sort of close back up again, hiding them from sight. A Wild and or Hal.
Okay. As the sort of these like illusions are sort of shattering, and like I'm like picturing like these sort of like shards of glass, Wild's gonna sort of like grab them and sort of like throw them at the At the fire thing, the elemental,
Yeah,
like this like they sort of like start glow purple from off of his hands. It's kind of like,
that's cool as hell. Roll to battle.
okay. Battle is 2. Okay. Okay, so it's a 1 and a 4. So a 4?
Yes. So when if you roll multiple dice, you just take whichever one is the highest.
Okay.
This game
Yes.
essentially works in like you can give yourself advantage and double advantage. And
Got it.
very good. Yeah, 4 is good. So I think you all see this happen. Pod, as your illusions start to shatter, Wild sort of focuses in grabbing some of these pieces and then flinging them very wonderfully, muscles rippling in the firelight, toward the elemental. And Atherby, they sort of land around you, stabbing into this elemental form. And it, I think, the form lets out this like loud sort of roar, and flails around and is looking very upset. How?
I would like to walk into the library through the door, and as I do, I want to take my shirt off,
Okay.
like cross-arm overhead style, and then I would like to use some water magic to try and save. If there are like books and shelves on fire, I'd like to try and put the fire out. Maybe get save the books if I can, and then also try and make a path, an escape path for the librarian.
Okay, roll to wizard. Yep. Roll to wizard.
5.
Yeah, that's good. What does it look like? What does your water magic look like?
My water magic. Think very Aquaman. Like my hair sort of like is like I'm in the water. It's sort of flowing, and my skin is glistening now that I'm damp. And sort of like almost like these sort of like flowing walls of water, almost like parting a sea sort of image.
Yeah, and everybody gets a little ocean spray. The salt making your hair
just enough to glisten.
you glisten a little bit, and the salt making your hair like just a little beach wave, if you have longer hair. And yeah, you see this these walls, these waves of water kind of coming over and around. I gotta stop looking at the chat. As a path is sort of carved through one of these aisles, and not all of the library is on fire. It seems like it's sort of like concentrated to this one area right now. Like you caught it fairly early, and so but you see this expertly controlled water sort of carved through, splashing over the parts of this shelf and through to the librarian's desk. And she is sort of hit, or they, I guess I didn't really say what they looked like. This person, this very sexy person, is sort of hit with a small wave of water. It's very like Flashdance. And they stand back up and start to very dramatically sort of run toward you, Hal, and the rest of you through this path
This is their Baywatch moment.
that you have carved. This is it. This is your moment. And so they sort of realizing they have a chance, start to take off through this path of fire on either side of them, sort of being taken down by these waves of water that Hal is controlling. So the rest of you have a moment. Now there's water everywhere.
Try to do some more wizard stuff, maybe change the water into like ice.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, roll for wizard.
Okay. I'm good at wizard. Another 4.
Okay, yeah, so I think you doing some wizard stuff. At Wild, I think maybe a little less out of your element with this particular bit.
Uh-huh.
of wizardry than than Pod and the rest. Hal, I think you feel this this confluence of energy as Wilds are standing alongside you, adds his magic to yours, and these this crackling sort of starts to go up around the water as these ice crystals start to form in these very cool patterns. And it looks amazing. The rest of you are just like, wow. As this ice starts to form, as the water is freezing and heading sort of towards these bookshelves and this elemental creature.
I think right now would be a great time is that Pod looks over towards Atherby and just with a tough guy movie nod, just like nods, and then combo attacks from the two of them in sync.
Yes.
Because I think Pod starts running forward and then goes into a knee slide on the ice, fully like bending backwards, taking the gun and then just firing up into the elemental as he slides underneath it.
I
Okay,
like it. That's so good.
that's amazing. Yeah, Atherby, are you contributing to this combo move?
I mean, I think I'm just trying to keep the thing harried, so it can't. It has to stay focused on me. Can't react to either the ice or getting shot from, I guess.
Oh, right, because you're the cool guy.
I do have a rift gun, so I think I'm also like firing rifts into like in the air above it that you can like jump out of and like come.
Oh my gosh, like
just
Portal.
like yeah, just like shooting out of rifts around it.
Oh yes, Portal, the sexiest of games. Yes, I think as Hal and Wild, your energies combine, you start sending these waves of ice toward this elemental. Atherby and Pod, you cool guy nod at each other, and Atherby sort of traveling through these rifts that Pod is making, harrying the creature and keeping it at bay with your shield. Pod, you slide in and fire off one expertly placed shot with your void gun. You guys roll for battle?
I'm gonna use my determination.
Okay, so you can add another. So you spend that one for one to add a
Yes.
d6 to your roll.
I got a 3.
Okay.
I went with the total for a second. I was like 7. What? 4.
Okay. Ugh. Well, 3 fails. 4. Let's see. Yeah, Atherby, that's definitely going to be so that is a stress and a determination for you. And so Pod, I think, as this is happening, I think it works at first, and I mean it looks very cool as Atherby is sort of jumping around, but I think there is a moment where the two of you get a little bit out of sync, and Atherby misses one of the riffs and sort of tumbles down. I mean, it's still very cool and sexy, and I think you're able to like throw your shield underneath you and kind of slide down, surfing down one of these ice things. Pod, I think it throws you off. I'm gonna have you mark 1 stress. So this is our like partial success type thing. So I think you, Pod, can slide in and take your shot. But I think as you sort of line up and all of you get ready to try to end this creature, you realize that the librarian that has been like running this way is also in the line of fire. And if they end up in a rift from your gun, you're not sure what will happen to them. I'll let you make the choice. The GM will give you a hard choice, worse outcome, or bargain. I don't know.
I think Pod in that like slow motion is like aiming, and she comes running out of the fire, like emerging, and he's looking at it, he like grits his teeth and he says, damn it, and he just like throws the gun to his side and goes sliding past her to interpose himself between her and the fire elemental, but does not take the shot.
But I don't think Pod has gotten up off of his knees. He's
No,
sliding the entire time. He's been somehow maintaining this momentum.
yeah. Just like banking off of the parts where the waves froze, like going against the bookshelves. It just continues to slide.
And it looks very cool because he's sliding, but then also Atherby is coming like surfing around one side.
Well, actually, yeah, if I could have come around, then I think I would like grab her and continue to slide like towards the door to try to get her out, but I won't take the shot.
Okay.
If I can do that as a partial.
Yeah, sure, why not? So yeah, this happens and the librarian is out of the way, but the creature is still there, and I think it is starting to sort of regain its strength from these last couple of hits that you guys have put on it with this ice and this water, and it's starting to grow in size again. What do you do to end it for good?
I will go ahead, Alex.
I think Atherby wants to try and salvage things and is going to try and tap into the shield power and just basically turn up the suck, turn up the void aspect, and just vacuum the elemental in.
Can that be the tagline for our game? Sexy Battle Wizards. Turn up the suck.
If you would like to tweet about this game and tell your friends to come watch it, please tweet on Twitter, #TurnUpTheSuck. Yeah, you could do that. Is that, I don't know. Is that a wizard?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a wizard.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm not as good at, but we'll see.
Roll wizard.
Okay,
you
that's
do
a 5.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's for, what is, I was looking at the difficulty thing. Audacious or risky stuff that has great impact. It feels like that. So I'm gonna say you meet that difficulty. So after we go ahead and mark another stress. But yeah, I think you do this. So you focus in your sort of new wizard instinct taking over, and the void shield kicks in to high gear, and you all can sort of see the fire around this thing, this elemental sort of straining against the force of the shield and sort of being like sucked toward Atherby. But it is Atherby. It is hot in here. It's very stressful for you in particular. The rest of you, somebody can try to help finish it off.
I like run up and with my like sparkly fist like try to punch it into the shield.
Yeah.
Like shove it in there.
Absolutely. With your
Panchy fists.
your fey fists and your impeccable bone structure, please roll for battle.
Battle, okay. Here goes. Another 4.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. So yeah, you were sort of fast and loose with the rules here. Yeah, you also want to say equal to, go ahead and mark a stress for that, because you're like right up in the flames. But yeah, I think as Atherby is sort of holding fast and holding the void shield in place, you all see Wild sort of coming up very dramatically, so running up a bookshelf that has been knocked over like a ramp, and launching himself toward it and landing one giant sort of fey punch. Gets super smashed, and using all of his might to shove this thing into the void where it belongs. And the jazz back on. The elemental sort of screams one sort of last loud scream, and then is forced / sucked into the void of this shield. Atherby, I'm not sure you know where it sends people, but it's not here anymore. As it very dramatically, the last sort of tendrils of fire lashing out towards you and then disappearing into the void. And you can hear jazz music playing from the hall. where the party is still going on. Pod, you have a librarian.
I'm still sliding towards the door.
I'm still sliding.
I
Yeah.
slide back out into the hall.
Okay, Pod, in the last few moments of dramatic music, slides past all of you into the hall with the librarian in his arms as the ash sort of settles around you. You all look very good, and you're like a little bit dirty, but none of it's on your face, which I think is how it works in the movies. Library mostly saved.
Well, we did it. Got that elemental thing. Seems like a bad thing to keep in a library. You know, full of books and stuff.
Yes, we should probably speak to Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford and let him know what we found. In the meantime, let's get this cleaned up. And I start magicking away the ice.
Sure. Hal, as you do this, a single dramatic sheet of paper sort of starts to float down from the air and sort of lands in front of your feet. Very dramatically. Almost as if it's important somehow to the plot.
Well, for the sake of plot, I will kneel down and pick that up.
Great,
Set it
you
on
do.
fire.
I burn it. No. I will
Wizard.
pick it up.
Okay, so you pick it up and you see this partially singed around the edges, but not so much to have destroyed any actual important writing that was on the paper. You see this what looks like to be a page that has been sort of torn out or come out of a notebook of some kind. And there are some formulae and other things written on it that are very suspicious to you. They are somehow magical and or wizardly, but it's not something you recognize, and you recognize most magic.
I will turn to the group. Do any of you three recognize this? Well, I guess Pod's out the door.
No,
so
Pod's gone.
Pod's on there.
I mean,
Do
I
either
could
of you
look
two
at it.
recognize this?
Let me see.
I don't think you do, but I think as the three of
When
you
I
are-
hand them, whoever, I guess if
Yeah.
Wild grabs the paper first, I like make sure to like kind of brush your hand, like just enough. Brush your hand when I hand it to you.
I don't recognize this.
But as the three of you sort of stand there looking at it, I think sort of scattered around you, you see very dramatically as the camera sort of pans out and up toward the ceiling, so we can see the dramatic reveal right before we cut to black and go to break. All of these different pages kind of scattered around you in a dramatic circle on the floor that have notes sort of very similar to these. Some of them have like drawings on them, and then there's one page I think that you all sort of see as you turn, and it's got a diagram drawn on it for some sort of humanoid robotic creature, perhaps, that looks like an automaton of some sort. How? No wizard has ever been able to actually build a fully functioning automaton. And because of this, you know this is a very dramatic reveal.
My God.
Crackle of thunder.
Out in the hallway.
Pod and the librarian are just making out.
Okay. What does a librarian look like? I gave
She's-
you literally nothing. I just said it was a librarian.
She's also a tall, sexy kobold.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, and then
Still out there.
yeah. Why wouldn't he be? He's doing butler things, whatever those are.
I do a seductive gesture towards Dwayne too.
And we actually cut to black.
A seductive gesture.
I leave that for the chat too.
Ah,
Use your
Use your
imagination. And we do actually cut to black so we can take a quick break. For real. In real life. Yeah, I hope you guys are having fun.
Oh my gosh, this game is ridiculous. It's great.
This is good. Yeah, thanks everybody in chat for hanging out with us so far. We will come back with the second half and hopefully exciting conclusion of this particular run of sexy battle wizards in just a few moments, but we are going to take a quick break, refresh our drinks and our snacks and ourselves, and we'll be back in a very sexy minute.
and remember to tweet at us on Twitter using the hashtag #TurnUpTheSuck.
Hashtag turn up the suck. The more you tweet that hashtag, the faster we'll come back from break. I dare you, internet.
Oh no.
Bye.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Hello again, Internet. Thank you for sticking with us on our break. If you are just joining us or have just joined us, we are gearing up for the exciting, sexy conclusion of our Sexy Battle Wizards one-shot here on Motley Mondays. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we are going to continue the jazz and jump right back in. So we're all the the librarian's probably gone now.
Okay.
Unless anything significant happened.
No.
Okay. No way. So you re-enter the occult library, where your friends are sort of looking around at all of these notes and arcane scribblings and diagrams and things, and discussing robots mostly.
So robots. How do they work?
Magnets mostly.
Some kind of sexy magic, I assume.
So these were blueprints specifically for humanoid robots.
Yes, scrawled in one corner of the notes in all caps is just automatons, question mark, and circled a bunch of times. Yeah, they're like Cybermen.
Nice.
So anyone here could be a robot.
I don't know if they're that advanced or that sexy.
They are now.
Well, heck.
How are we supposed to tell them apart from regular people? Regular sexy people versus sexy robots.
Well, I think that means we're going to have to lock down the estate. No one in, no one out.
Seems like a good idea. Kind of a lot of people here, though. It's going to take a while.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll just give them more alcohol and keep them confined to where the alcohol is, and they won't even notice.
Yeah.
Let's go. I can go speak with Sir Callahan, Davenport, Rutherford. If you three would like to stay here and go through these and see what you can find. Or we can all go together.
I think we're sexier together.
Agreed. There is sexiness in numbers. Which is why a lot of our students actually are math majors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they go on to become some great, sexy engineer wizards.
I don't want to follow this line of thought anymore. Let's just keep.
I don't want you to follow this line of thought anymore because I'm afraid of where it's gonna go. So Hal, you lead the way toward the exit of the library. Hal, as you pass over the threshold of the library out into the hallway, the three of you are still in the library as the doors slam shut very dramatically in between you. Three of you in the library, Hal on the outside. And Hal, I think you hear this and sort of see the light as it's happening, but the other three of you see this sort of blinding flash of light as from like up high in the library, this creature, being, humanoid form of some sort of descends in a ball of light that almost blinds your sexy eyes as it lands before you, and you see what looks like an angel of some kind. But a sexy angel. With beautiful wings and very little clothing.
So nude Castiel.
And almost. But
Like looking in a mirror.
she sort of folds her wings in and very dramatically sort of flicks her hair around and looks at the three of you. And Hal, I think you hear this voice from where you are outside in the hallway, and she says, "So," and gets this very irritated look on her face and says, "Where is she?"
Who are you referring to?
Almoni, where is she?
Oh, we haven't seen her in a while.
I step
Yeah,
forward. She's not here, but I can help you.
And who are? And I think this look of recognition crosses this Deva's face, and she says, "Oh, you have got to be fucking kidding me!" And she's like looking around. She says, "Where is she? Where is Almoni? Because I'm going to kill her."
She wasn't with us.
Yeah, we haven't seen her all day. We just sort of woke up here.
Ridiculous. What has happened to the three of you?
I mean, I think we look pretty nice.
We got
That is why I am confused.
her.
What's your name?
Astarte.
Astarte. My name is Pod.
I
but
know.
I'm sure you
Well,
knew
the
that
small,
already.
annoying one who steals everything. Are you hiding her? Because if she has prayed to Our Lady for help again, but she is not even here, I have been sent across the planes of existence 3 times this week for that brat. Is she here? Are you hiding her?
Believe me, if she was here right now, I would love to serve her up to you to get some divine comeuppance, but have not seen her.
But since you've made this trip, why don't you stay for a while, have a drink? We can show you around.
No.
Yeah, Pod, I don't think trying to seduce celestial beings is gonna go well. Believe
I know
me,
what
I've
I'm
tried.
doing. I know what I'm doing. Listen, it seems like you've had a rough day. Things have been difficult back at the office. I'm sure the boss is a real stickler. Why don't you kick your shoes off? Relax for a bit.
Atherby is backing up behind Pod, kind of trying to pull Wild back so that we don't get caught
She's
up.
not wearing any shoes.
What exactly are you trying to say about my boss?
I know how demanding employers can be. I'm sure she asks the world of you. So why not just take a little break?
Roll for sexy.
Come on.
I have to let you.
man.
All right.
I really hope this is when Pod explodes.
Oh, yikes. That's a 3.
So you get a stress and a determination.
Uh-oh.
I think she looks at you, and I mean, obviously, like, the madder she gets, the hotter she gets, because that's how this works, is like TV land. But I think she looks at you, and her eyes sort of flare and her wings spread out, and she says, "Listen, you little lizard shit. I didn't ask for this job. I didn't ask for our money. I didn't ask for any of you, but I'm here. So, you are, I don't know, being looked over by Sune, the goddess of love and beauty, because of your shitty little angel friend. And I am supposed to, when you have finished your mission, send you back home. Are you done?"
Don't
Nope.
think so.
No, ma'am.
Nope, we just found out there's sexy robots running about.
Great. Not again. Is this... Is this Rossiford's house?
Yes, it is.
That's his name. Wait, have you been here before?
Have you not?
First time.
We're recently sexy.
Well, it's not going to stick for very long, but whatever. I am supposed to be here to wait until you finish whatever it is you're doing and then send you home, and then hopefully I can find you and track the Fae who did this to you and stop them, whatever that means. So, finish what you are doing, call me, and I will boop you back to Faerun. I guess. This is what I am relegated to.
How do we call you? Like do we pray or something?
I think she looks at Atherby and Pod, and then I think she looks over at Wild and she says, "You are newer to this group.
A little bit.
You can play to me anytime."
A little bit.
But I don't know, whistle.
Just put your lips together and blow.
I hate that film.
What's a film?
Well, is Hal?
I'm here. I'm just like leaning up in the doorway. I mean, come on. My school is the magic of the supreme doorway.
He's
No, doorway.
He's most powerful.
That's when I'm most powerful, is when I'm in the doorway. Oh God, I am like the light that she's giving off is like, I don't think I've put my shirt back on. I haven't put my shirt back on, so
Why would you?
leaning in the doorway.
Good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
Right. You, and she looks at Wild, call me when you are done.
Okay.
And if Harmony is here,
I sure wish he'd show up and help out.
tell her she has used up her prayers for the week. And that if she calls me again, I will pluck out her little Asimar feathers one by one.
We'll be sure to let her know.
Have fun with the robots! And she disappears.
Sexy robots. All right.
And as this happens, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford rushes into the room and says, "Darlings, my occult library!"
Yes, had a little bit of an elemental infestation, but we took care of it.
Well, good to know. The cops are at the door.
Okay.
Hide the weed.
Must speak to them. Someone from the party must have called them. You must speak to them.
Well, if we must.
I'm on it. Let's go, guys.
Okay.
So you...
What are
I'm try-
cops?
It's a obscure term for the constabulatory.
What if Hal and I go and distract the officers, and Atherby and Wild continue the investigation to find these sexy robots? Time is running short.
So,
Okay.
if I remember correctly, the general people, do not like us meddling in their affairs, correct? Or is
it is that Okay, this is specifically what the rules say. You are a member of the College Errant, an organization based in a magical flying castle that rove the land looking to avert arcane disasters and fight injustice. You have precisely 0 authority to do this. The cops hate you, and you are wanted in several countries for the collateral damage caused while saving the world.
Right.
So
okay.
I think maybe the people
are fine.
Like you.
So we're basically Batman.
You're all
We're
Batman.
all Batman.
Yeah. But the cops, on the other hand, and you might be wanted in several other countries.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the people probably love you're the people's heroes because you're super sexy.
Okay.
Cops.
So we're like Spartacus.
Sure.
Okay.
That's not how I remember Spartacus going.
No, that was totally how Spartacus.
But yep. Okay. Yes. You are like Batman and or Spartacus.
Hey, we have the sexy nudity of Spartacus down, so
Exactly.
It's exactly like that.
So, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I didn't think that it would be a problem. The authorities do not like sexy battle wizards. They think that we are meddling where we shouldn't be, and I may be wanted in several countries because of this.
Oh.
So we should avoid them at all costs.
oh.
So
Well, they probably don't know us yet. We're like brand new. They might not know that we're.
yeah, so maybe we swap those parties while and I go and talk to the authorities and you two continue the investigations.
I think that's a great idea. Just try not to make any mention of the College Errant or sexy battle wizards or anything that could allude to that.
Right.
Be great.
Just
Okay.
be sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Do the cops here just murder people? But we'll find out. We'll handle it.
You got it. I give
Okay.
him a I give him a little like I grab his shoulder and like, you got it.
And you say, "Hey."
You ever hear this shoulder touch? Hey.
Maybe we should try that.
Please don't shoulder touch the cops.
Oh.
Honestly, no.
I just remembered what game we're playing. I think you should shoulder touch the cops.
Oh, I plan on it.
Okay, so we're splitting up. And Hal and Pod are investigating sexy robot magic,
Mhm.
and the other two of you are going to talk to the cops. Okay, great.
Is Sir Callahan still here? Or did
Sure.
he run off?
You want him to be.
I would like to talk to him while they go off,
Okay.
deal with the cops.
Let's do that. So Atherby and Wild, you very sexily exit the room, leaving Pod, Hal, and Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford in the partially destroyed and also sort of sparkly where an angel just left it because I wanted to work in everything I rolled off of the tables. The other thing that I rolled was a sexy angel of a sexy god who'd rather you didn't do this.
That's good.
So I inserted my own character. So left in ash and some burned up bookshelves and some angel sparkles are the owner of this estate and Hal and Pod. What would you like to do? The two of you.
I'm gonna talk to Sir Callahan.
Okay.
So Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford.
Yes, darling.
After we dealt with the fire elemental, we found some troubling information, and I show him the papers, specifically pointing towards the blueprints. Do you know anything about this?
Oh, darling, I have no idea, please. You know I don't read. That's what Dwight is for.
You're absolutely correct. You say Dwight, is he one of your butlers?
Yes, the large one.
I thought that was Dwayne.
You have two large
Oh.
butlers named Dwayne and Dwight.
Oh, yes, darling, the twins.
At least it's not Bruce and Willis.
Oh, yes, have you not met the twins, darling?
One of them, I think.
Intimately.
As one should.
It's the only way to meet people.
So I have a request for you, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
So the situation is like this. Someone or some people here at this dinner party may be robots in disguise.
You're joking.
No,
Transformers,
Sir
if you will.
Callahan Davenport Rutherford, I never joke.
It's just like the program I used to watch as a child.
Would it be possible, without alerting anyone to the situation or scaring any of your guests, would it be possible to keep everyone inside, or at least on the premises, so that these robots cannot escape?
Well, I'm sure I can think of something. Well, I suppose I could open up the second wine cellar.
Well, keeping the sexy people in the room drunk sounds like a good plan to me.
Wait, Hal
Also-
had it. Oh, good.
No, by all means.
Hal, I had a thought. Can robots get drunk?
Can robots get drunk?
Can robots get drunk?
We just need to try to get everyone drunk. Whoever doesn't get drunk is a robot.
That is... You've been studying. I'm very proud of you, Pod.
I did read a book a few years ago.
You know, Hal, it's good to see you finally embracing positive reinforcement for your children.
Yeah.
After all these years, it's almost like you've taken to teaching. I'm so
Well-
proud of you.
You know, those end of semester teacher reviews that all of the students are required to do. It's always the one category I struggled with.
But I do know they rate you with all the chili peppers, Hal. Don't sell yourself short.
Thank you, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford.
You're very welcome, dear. So, I will open the second wine cellar.
Do you have a third wine cellar?
Oh, darling, I have a 23rd wine cellar, please.
Probably open the third wine cellar too.
That is where I keep the Zinfandel.
There won't be a sober person here. Except for the
Capital
robot.
idea, Pod. All right, well,
Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, I want you to make this the best goddamn ranger you've ever thrown.
don't worry, darling. I'm sure I have a musical act or two on a speed dial that I can call up in a pinch. What do you recommend?
Something nostalgic.
I'll consider it. All right.
All right, we're going to, while you handle that, we are going to case the rest of the premises, the nearby area, see if we can find any more clues.
All right.
And
Capital
we're not-
ideas, both of you.
And we're not going to steal anything.
Of course not. Even if you did, I wouldn't notice it was gone, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you just had to say so.
Oh, and
Hmm?
obviously, you know, job done, robots foiled and all that. I will pay you, darling.
Oh, of course you will, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford. You always have. You are our best. You are the college errant's best client, and we are glad to serve you, and that we could be such good friends.
Now I have to ask, is there a Mrs. or Mr. Callahan Davenport Rutherford?
Why don't both, darling?
It doesn't answer my question. Okay.
Why? Are you interested?
I'm not interested.
You're not a student, are you?
I never enrolled. I'm also not sure how old I am here because I was 2 years old.
Everyone in this game is very clearly an adult,
Okay, just making sure.
including the students. Everyone is an adult.
It's like grad school.
Yes.
The
Absolutely.
very sexy grad school.
So grad school.
Sorry, I was 8 years old.
Grad school.
I don't know what grad school you went to.
I apologize. I was 8 years old, 2 feet tall. Get those numbers confused.
Not 2 years old and 8 feet tall?
That is the sexiest baby I have ever seen.
Okay.
We'll
Night,
talk.
Internet.
We'll talk. We'll talk later.
Wonderful, darling. So, let's get a move on then. And he staggers away, very clearly drunk. And the two of you begin to investigate. But I want to cut to Wild and Atherby, who have made their way back out into the party as a few very sexy police people make their way around the the room, taking notes in their notepads and talking to witnesses and things like that.
I think as we've been going, Atherby finally realizes he's actually shirtless under his dangerous cool jacket,
Like, wait a minute.
trying to zip it up, but it's not zipping up enough.
The zipper doesn't actually work. It's just like when you try to zip it, but it's just
Nope.
nothing. There's always
Keeps
abs
getting
there.
Caught on his ab muscles.
Ow.
But it doesn't hurt because they're like rock hard.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so what are we? I guessing those guys are the cops over there?
Yeah, seems that way. I imagine we mostly just want to convey to them that they don't need to be here without undermining their authority in any way.
Oh, right. Okay.
Maybe we can try and convince them to, I don't know if they're going to go for it, but maybe try and convince them to just join the party. I mean, they are also very sexy like everyone else here. Seems like they'd fit in. Just tell them to ease up. Maybe we convince them to go undercover.
Oh. But they do look really good in those uniforms, though.
I do love me a good uniform. There was a reason I was a sailor.
Oh, really? Well, let's go talk to them, I guess. Hi.
All right, you approach the cop who seems to be in charge. He has the biggest badge
That's how they
Out of all
do
of the
it.
cops. These are wizard cops, probably.
Yep, the biggest badge. Mm-hmm.
Yep, he does, definitely. You approach him, and he is like this large, like toned, but not like overly buff, like very like lifeguard tan, sort of blonde kind of hair, wavy on top, perma beach wave. Looks very good in his uniform, and he has the police chief badge. Turns out I don't know a lot about cops. And Wild, you say hello, and he turns to you, like very dramatically, and his blue eyes sort of sparkle in the party light. He says, "Hello."
My friend Atherby wants to talk to you.
Yes, is there something we can help you with this fine morning, officer?
Yes, well, as you can see by my badge, I am the chief of police. Please, Chief Zachary Fabulous.
Well, Chief Fabulous, I'm sure this must be a very important matter for you to show up in person, but we're just some people here having a party. Do you mind telling us what brings you here this morning?
Yes, well, we received a call about and he flips through his notepad, noise disturbance and also some sort of flaming occult activity. Have to investigate, you understand.
Of course. Gotta make sure that everyone is safe and accounted for at an event such as this. I mean, I can't speak much to the noise complaints. I mean, the band seems to be, they're playing, they've been playing at that volume, and I don't know about you, seems fine to me. I mean...
Oh, yes, the smoothest jazz.
Yes, I mean, maybe once you've finished investigating, you might want to, take a spin or two on the dance floor with me, just get used to the volume of music, see if it's disturbing or not. As to the, what was the other one? The fire that you mentioned?
Something of that sort, yes.
Yes, well, you know how these folks get, have a drink or 7 in them, and they suddenly think they can, pull off the craziest stunts. And there was one fella trying to do a trick with a lighter or something, and it got a bit out of hand, but it was taken care of. But I imagine, maybe one of the lord or ladies of fainter heart panicked and called for yourself and your colleagues before the situation was handled.
I'm gonna have you roll for sexy while he makes a blue steel face at you.
That is a 6.
Oh, dang.
Even for Police Chief Zachary Fabulous, that is a success. Yeah, I think he sort of looks you up and down and is like, well, I think everything checks out here. He flips his notebook closed or puts it back on his belt and sort of looks at you, looks at Wild, looks at you. I mean, he looks at his watch. I've got some time and can send my officers, back to the station for a little break. I don't see why we couldn't take a couple of spins on the dance floor, as you say, for information gathering purposes.
Of course, assure yourself that everything here is just fine.
And your name was?
My name is Atherby. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
And you as well. And you are?
I'm Wild.
That is his name.
Yeah.
And it may also, well, I'll let you find out for yourself.
Well, it's only noon. I don't think my dance card is quite full yet.
It's only noon.
Ranger's about to pop off.
Dude,
I
we're
even
about
knew-
to open the second wine cellar, and it's only me.
I mean, they've been going since midnight, so.
Ah, yes.
Okay. So yeah, as I think Chief Fabulous, NPC named by our good friend G Master in the chat. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah,
you,
G Rock.
Thank you so much.
Goes to take a spin with Atherby on the dance floor. Wild, knowing you are up next. Pod and Hal, you are investigating.
Yes.
Do you have anything specific you want to be doing?
I mean, I'd like to search the like dark, sexy corners of this mansion. A place away from the other people, perhaps where scheming could be happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are in an occult library. There.
A hidden door behind the bookshelf.
Yeah, there's no role for any of this in these games, so yeah, that stuff is gonna happen, which is
Nice.
wonderful. I think you and Paz sort of look around the library for a little bit. In one of the reading alcoves in a dark corner of the library with just a single candle lit, the light flickering off the 24 abs in this room. You open the alcove. Don't listen, Sean. Don't get that look on your face. You knew what this game was.
I'm just trying to figure out where all the abs came from.
Well, you have 12 of them, and Hal has the other 12.
Because I have 20, and you have the
You
other.
have 4. 4 very large abs. Please understand. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
how math do.
That is how math do. Hi, Alex. Welcome back to the game. Pod and Hal, and all of their abs. You sort of looking through these reading alcoves. Find a secret passage behind a naughty romance novel on one of the shelves, and you go to pull it off the shelf, but it's a fake book.
And I'm really disappointed.
And you are really disappointed, but there's a lot more in this library, honestly. So
It was a copy of the Winking Skeever.
Wait, but this guy doesn't read, so he has people
The
read
lies.
sexy romance novels to him?
the lusty Argonian maid.
The best kind of audiobook.
That is what he implied. Yes. You pull this copy of the lusty Argonian maid off the shelf, but it doesn't actually pull off all the way. It just sort of tilts, and a secret door in the library opens up into a very dark and creepy tunnel.
Well, I was about to make it. No, I'm gonna go. I've never met a dark and creepy tunnel I didn't enter, so better keep going.
It's the word
no.
creepy that made it.
Yeah.
Yes, Hal, what would you like to do?
Why don't you take the lead?
All right. I go. I lead
Into the.
into the tunnel. I enter the tunnel.
Okay. You're just leaving your friends?
Oh, we should get them. Are they still dancing with Professor Detective Fabulous?
I'm gonna. Are you both gonna dance with the police chief, Zachary Fabulous?
I mean, I think Atherby is
Sure.
very strongly going to encourage Wild to take a spin.
Okay.
I'm having. Okay.
Try.
There aren't gonna be like any devastating consequences to this, but I want you both to roll sexy.
It's gonna be good.
Because you have to, because it's a stat in this game, and
Yeah.
it's a crime if you don't.
Got another 6.
Oh my gosh. 3.
Okay. Yeah, Atherby, I mean,
Killing it.
Yes. Very good. It's all very good. Okay. Standard sexy battle wizard stuff is difficulty 4. Yeah, so oh man, I don't want to make you mark a stress because I'm being silly, but Wild, I am gonna go ahead and have you mark a determination that you can use later. It doesn't go great.
No, he probably steps on the commissioner's foot a few times.
Yeah, so I think you step on Chief Fabulous's feet a couple of times, but like I don't think he looks upset. Like it's just like a very different experience than what he's used to, but also like he's kind of into it.
Well then.
That's it.
I love it.
Oh man. This game is very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the after all of this, I think Chief Fabulous is probably gonna hang around the party for a while because I like him and I don't want him to go away, so he's gonna hang around. But the sexy battle wizard team is gonna get back to work.
Gonna make sure Chief Zachary Fabulous has a drink or two in hand before leaving him.
Excellent. All right, so yeah, Atherby, I think you bring him a glass of fancy wine from the second wine cellar, and he sort of toasts to you and insinuates that he'll be here when you get back.
I let him know I'll be sure to keep an eye out.
Right, and he winks and does the blue steel.
And I do. Hey, don't go anywhere.
And he faints. No, but it's good. It works for sure. He's not going anywhere. He'll be here when you get back for sure. And yeah, the four of you make your way toward the creepy tunnel.
Atherby, you're really good at dancing.
I mean, you pick up a thing or two when everyone in a tavern is, blackout drunk. And it eventually just becomes muscle memory.
Right. I think I need to practice a little bit.
Well, just let me know sometime and I'll be your partner.
Okay. We gotta figure out where Hal and Pod ended up.
Let's see if we can maybe expedite that, and I will pull aside the nearest butler or maid and just be, pardon me, have you seen two extremely sexy individuals lately? They may be appearing to be skulking about.
You mean besides you two?
Yeah, besides us.
They are still in the library.
Thanks ever so much. Give them a wink and head towards the library.
Right, you find your friends. They're in the library, standing in front of a creepy tunnel. It's just a guy standing in front of a creepy tunnel.
Just two guys standing in front of a creepy tunnel.
Secret tunnel, sexy tunnel.
Oh my gosh.
Just in time. You handle the cops?
No, don't worry. They've been handled expertly.
Good. I would expect nothing less from my top students. All right. Well, Pod, take the lead.
All right. I slowly enter the tunnel.
Great. You all enter the tunnel. I'm just thinking about the fact that Hal met these people like 3 hours ago. Or so.
And what does that say about the rest of his students he's had for semesters that we're better than all of them?
All right. You make your way down the tunnel, and it's creepy and dark, and nothing happens until you get to the end because it's already 10:30. So we expedite the process. You make it to the end of the tunnel and do some music that's not the jazz, because the
That's
jazz
true.
is gone now.
Used to carry.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Yeah, so you make your way sort of down this dark tunnel, sort of lighting up something magical and torch-like as you need to be able to see. And you make your way sort of down and down and down this sort of downward slanting tunnel, and it's creepy and it's dark and it's cold, until it opens up into this large. Stop giggling! I can see you giggling. No giggling in the tunnel. You make your way into this large room, which is lit by torches on the wall and all that stuff that wizards have. On one side of the room, there is a large desk that is sort of strewn with papers and books and diagrams and then all these things. And on the other side of the room, there is essentially a large phalanx of automatons. Currently doing nothing, but standing.
These robots?
I guess so.
Are they sexy though?
Oh, extremely.
Okay. I think these are them.
Huh. I wonder what they're doing down here.
This might be a stretch, but what if there's actually one of these for each of the guests up above, and they're planning to take their place and insert themselves into their role in society, and so society is overtaken by sexy robots that run everything.
You see some familiar faces among the automatons, including one that looks just like Police Chief Zachary Fabulous.
Wait. What if the police chief is actually a robot and this is the police chief?
But this is the robot.
How do we know that though?
Oh, trust me, I know.
Because he knows, and I trust Atherby.
I mean, they
Well.
were dancing. But like,
Vertical, I assure you.
Alright, so
Yeah.
how do we destroy these robots before they can desexify the world?
Well, it might remain, a neutral sexy change. Just gonna be robot instead of people.
It would be a 1-to-1 sexy ratio.
But does it seem like the means of producing the robots are here, or are they just all stationed here, creepily standing still?
Does Atherby know how robots are made?
I don't know. Does it look like there's a work table
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah, there's stuff. There's stuff, there's a desk, there's notes, there's things that you don't know what they do. They probably make robots.
All right. I have an idea. It might be a terrible one and it might not work, but I think I have an idea to mess up whoever's day is running this business.
okay.
But it's kind of taking the genie out of the bottle and we can't put it back in once we do that. So if someone else has an idea, go for it.
Well, I just have a single question. If we're in Rutherford's house, I don't think someone brought this tunnel and robots in here with them. So did Rutherford make the robots?
No, trust me when I say this. Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford has so much money, he legitimately has never been into all of the rooms in his house.
Fair.
I mean, I don't want to completely count that out, because anything is possible, because anything is possible. But also, I've worked with him before. He actually has no idea what's in his own house.
Yeah, I mean, if he was bad guy, that would be kind of silly of him to call us.
Unless it was part of some larger master plan.
Good point.
Well, I think I have a wrench to throw in the works of whoever's master plan this is.
Yeah.
And on the back of my void shield, where there's the dial from 1 to 10 of suck, I want to flip it to where it says, with big warning signs, reverse. And I want to try and spit the fire elemental back out of my shield.
Reverse suck.
Reverse the suck at the
It
work.
blows. It blows.
There she goes.
She's done.
Yes.
Reverse the suck.
Yes. Okay. Oh my god, this is the funniest thing that's ever happened to me. I feel like you have to. What do you want to roll?
I'm willing to roll wizard for this because it's trying to do magic stuff.
Okay.
I am
Kinda
going to
work
use
your-
my. Mhm.
Your wizard gear.
Yep, I'm going to use my determination to give myself an extra die.
All right, let's do it. Roll wizard.
Got this.
That's a 5.
Okay. Yeah. Boy, howdy, when I planned this one shot, is this not anything like I thought what was gonna happen? It's incredible. Yeah, so I think you all see Atherby sort of turn it up to 11 and turn the void shield into reverse, and out of the front of it, the void portal that exists in this shield, I don't know, starts to spin the other way, and some sort of tendrils start to flick out of it, as the flame elemental from the library slowly starts to make its way out of the shield. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do while Atherby just releases a fire elemental into a room?
Maybe while that's happening, just kind of like pushing some of the robots like closer together, kind of like trying to squish them closer.
Are there any other entrances or exits besides the creepy dark tunnel we came through?
Not that you can currently see.
All right.
I mean, unless you want there to be one.
No.
I know.
No, one tunnel is good enough for me.
Okay. Pod, anything?
I'm just posing.
Okay. You do this. So yeah, you do this thing, and the firelight sort of illuminating all of the very sexy battle wizards that are in this room. This elemental starts to climb its way and be expelled from the void shield, and you can see as it makes its way out, it's getting close to the automatons that are here, and they're starting to soften a little bit, the ones that are sort of in this front line, as Wild is pushing them all together and start to
it goes.
belt. And I think from this happens for a second, and everyone is just like, yes, this is working. And then from across the room, on a part of the room that is raised like a dais or perhaps a stage of some sort, I think you hear a slow clap that just starts to emanate from one side, and out of the shadows, you see Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford walk out, but this time he's wearing a cape, and he sort of slow claps and looks at all of you and says, well, I see you found my magnificent basement project. Well, they're a hobby, really. Are you having fun?
Hold it.
It was you all along, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford.
It's always been me, darling.
And to think we had a sexy moment upstairs.
We can have another sexy moment now.
I mean, if it'll delay you stopping the fire elemental from burning down the rest of the sexy bots, I'm willing to have all the sexy moments you want to have.
Oh, you can do whatever you want with them, really. I'll just build more.
But why? Why would you do this?
Honestly, Hal, why not?
I don't really have an answer for you on that one. That's a good point.
Well,
I know, right? All of these villains, they stand and they monologue and they tell you their reasons, but like, honestly, I think mine are the best.
Yeah, I think we should just leave.
What about the moral conundrums of does a robot have actual autonomous will, and can it fully give consent to be as sexy as it is meant to be? Or can only people with free will have the ability to give full consent and fully embrace their sexiness?
Does
Well,
a sexy
Athaby, I would-
robot dream of sexy robot sheep?
Well, Athby, I would turn the question on all of you. Did you ask the robots what they wanted before you started melting them with your prisoner fire elemental?
Damn you, Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford. Damn you. In a single tear.
But obviously you've discovered my secret that I'm not just some drunk foppish noble, and I am actually doing dastardly things with all of my money, so I'm going to have to kill you now.
Can you at least try and do it sexily before we thwart you?
My dear, I don't have to try. And he summons some lightning, and some dramatic wind starts to flow around him, and his hair flows back, and it's all very dramatic, and he starts shooting wizard lightning out of his hands.
I dive for Wild and like grab him and like this sort of like half tackle behind a table.
Uh-huh.
And say, get down. But he like lands on top of me and we're very close.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think you should roll for sexy.
Gladly. 4.
I mean, that's enough. That is, what does
boy.
someone call it? Standard sexy battle wizard stuff.
That's good. Oh, okay, we're down now.
I look at Atherby and an idea pops into my head, and I said, I'm taking a page out of your book, Atherby, and I use my magic to summon a bunch of mirrors and slightly raise the ground, and I cast Compel Walk Off to challenge Rutherford to a walk-off against all of us.
Okay. I guess that's wizard, because you said I use my magic, so...
Sure. Or
Roll
we can just
wizard.
do it if you want. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, let's do it. Okay. What are the terms of your walk-off?
Zoolander rules. We just walk off, and whoever does better wins. I don't know.
Okay, so everyone's just gonna roll sexy against Sir. I always put his name in the wrong order. Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford's DC. So yeah, who would like to participate in the walk-off?
I mean, I think all of us, but I don't want to speak for everyone.
You just want to go individually and see.
Sure. I'm not very sexy.
Okay,
We'll try.
everyone. Okay, yes, we're having a walk-off. Everyone has to tell me the sexy things that they do, though. Who's going first?
All right, well, I challenged him, so I'll go first.
Yeah, get it.
All right, so Pod steps up, and again, this is a mirror-like platform that goes off at the I think at the end of the stage are all like the burning husks of the robots that are now forming the audience. And
Oh yeah, there's a fire elemental also. So
is it watching? Is it enjoying the walk off, or is it gonna?
Honestly,
The fire elemental is our
judge.
The judge.
trying to think. I mean, I want to be like, you summoned a fire elemental, but also is way funnier if it just like does what Atherby says now. So yeah, I think it just like melted a bunch of the robots, and then now is just like sort of sitting, a fiery arms crossed, waiting.
Yeah, Flavey makes a good point. The hottest person in the room is always the judge. All right, so Pod in his hipster wear steps up and strikes a powerful stance at the end of the runway before he starts to confidently stride forward. And as he does, he unhooks the bow tie that he's wearing and sort of flings it out into the audience. He reaches the halfway point and he stops and he does a spin on his wingtip shoes, and then he takes striding towards the end of the walkway. He does his patented knee slide to the end.
Of course.
And in summoning more mirrors around him, there's just sparkling lights that all like reflect right up into his face. He strokes his mustache one more time, and without even getting back up, he just spins and keeps sliding back down the runway to the end, where he pops back up onto his feet, strikes another pose, and that's it.
Roll sexy.
All right. I'm going to use my determination because this is probably the last roll that
Yep.
I'm going to do.
Definitely is.
46. That's a 6.
Yep. Okay.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Yes. We'll come back to it. Does anyone else want to describe what they're doing?
I've
You're
got
not-
one.
You're not required to, but yes, Atherby.
Go, Atherby, go.
Takes the runway.
Yep, so following that, Atherby will just kind of casually, very fluidly evoking, the watery background of his Triton nature, just stroll down, kind of holding the parts of his jacket, just taking it oh so slow and just making sure you get to see all the different individual muscle flexes, essentially, until he gets to the end of the walkway, turns around, reaches up, takes the sunglasses, pulls them off, throws them away, turns around, flares the jacket, taps into the Path of Beasts school that he apparently studied with. There's a tiger roar, and the sunglasses are still there.
That's very good. Yeah, roll sexy.
Oh, man.
Those are both 5s.
Okay. We'll come back to... All right, this is 6 out of 5. I'm making this a group check now.
Okay. Okay. Wild sort of like leads down into Hal and's like, I don't know what I'm doing. But here goes. And then like gets up.
Okay.
Is gonna go down the runway. And using this occult shadowmancy that he knows now, is gonna play with like that. There's like shadow and light, like I guess like this light coming off of the fire elemental and stuff. So kind of making like the lights sort of flash and like change. And he's sort of like working his way down the runway, just sort of posing as like the lights come on. And
It's
I
very
don't know how
like,
it ends, but there you go.
it's very like new age, like artistic sort of like. I'm imagining like the almost like the Polaroid flash sort of going down.
Yes.
Like poses as Wild goes down. It's super avant-garde, and like the crowd which is just a bunch of melted robots and a fire elemental. They love it.
But like, there's applause and like.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
The crackling of fire sounds like applause.
And the tiger roars again.
All right.
Yeah, roll sexy.
Okay, I'm gonna use my 1 point of determination. Let's see. A 5.
Okay. Hal. Professor Dr. Hal.
All right.
Bring us home.
So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Most people start at the top of the runway. I'm gonna start in the doorway. Because of my Arcana of the Supreme Doorway training, that is where I am most powerful. So I start with this like wide pose in the doorway, and then I enter onto the stage. And it's a pretty like, it's this sort of like almost closed off, like I'm not even really paying attention to the audience. Like I'm really focused on me right now and no one else in the room. I'm not trying to impress anyone, but me not trying to impress anyone is impressing everyone. And once I hit the very end of the runway, I pull out my sepulchral cannon and I mean like slam it down onto the ground in between my legs. And I do almost a like bull riding sort of like thrust. And I like sort of build up. And so on the third thrust, it's this like big motion and the cannon goes off. And I do a spin, slide it back onto my back, walk down the runway, and then when I get to the very end, I just do a quick over the shoulder. And then I exit.
Good thing we have the mature filter on.
Please roll sexy. I'm fucking crying.
Also, please roll a 1 on that.
6.
Oh my god, I cannot believe this just happened. Okay.
Yes, my sexy brother.
Did everyone rolled 5s and 6s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 6s and 2 5s.
I'm freaking crying right now. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me my entire life. Okay, so all of you succeed, just like beyond expectations. The walk-off ends, I think, with the Hal's sort of look over the shoulder, and the 4 of you sort of come together at the very end, bonded as a team, as a walk-off team. And I think you hear this just angry sort of shout from Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, who knows that he's been beat. And he sort of looks to all of you and says, "Well, boys, you've got me this time. But don't worry, I'll be back. And we'll have a real challenge next time." And he claps his hands together, and around the 4 of you, the whole world, the whole room sort of shimmers and wobbles, I guess, a little bit as everything starts to look sort of strange and magical. And Hal, I think you are almost sort of blinking in and out of this as if you're between realities and we don't know where you're going to land. But as this happens, you all can see the face of Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford changing in front of you, and his features start to shift a little bit, and he takes on a little bit of this like elven, almost fey form, and his hair grows long and blonde, and he has these leaves and flowers sort of braided in, and says, "Well, that was fun. I suppose you have to go home now, all of you. Right, call your friend, do whatever it is you do, but no, I'm watching all of you."
Are you the Fae that did this to us? If you just need more sexiness, just give me a call.
Cute. This is way more fun though. And they sort of clap their hands, and everything sort of rights itself for just a moment, and all of the automatons and Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford and the Fae form and everything else around you is sort of gone. I'm gonna change the music. What's this one? Oh, that's fun. Sounds like victory. And as you all sort of stand in this space, very briefly in between worlds, everything starts to disappear around you, and you sort of land in this weird empty dungeon. No automatons, no Fae, no Sir Callahan Davenport Rutherford, but victory music playing in the background.
Is that music? Do we look different?
You are yourselves again. I think Hal, you're still standing there for a brief moment as there is this sort of bright flash of light in front of the four of you, and you see a very irritated Deva, her standing there with her arms crossed. Are you all done?
No, I want to go back.
I think we're all done.
No, we're not done. There's definitely more investigating that needs to happen. We didn't solve it at all.
I mean, I think we got it, but it's gonna be okay, Pod.
No. Hal, take me with you.
You. Hal Apeño. Are you going or are you staying?
Well, I probably should get back to my students.
Well, you taught us a lot.
Make sure you let Zachary know that I'm sorry I couldn't take him up on my promise.
I will, Atherby. I'm sure I can come up with something.
I walk up to Hal. It was good to know you.
I kneel down and like hold out my hand for like the like bro.
Yeah.
Pod. Just remember, it's not the way you look that makes you sexy, but it's the way you are that makes you sexy.
A tear begins to form and fall down Pod's cheek. He says, "Thank you. Good luck in your sexy crime fighting."
Thanks, Pod.
And I try to pickpocket him.
He doesn't have pockets.
I don't have pockets.
I try to steal his cannon.
You don't.
That's a 14.
He keeps like reaching, and I just keep like, no.
That's what happened. And Pod, I think, in front of you, the rest of you, but Pod is there sort of gripped onto Professor Apeño. I think the Deva sort of looks over to you, Hal, and says, "Well, if you ever need a ride to Feilun, you know who to call. Come on, little shits." And she snaps her fingers, and Hal, and the rest of the dungeon sort of disappears in this sparkling purple light, and you land back in the bedrooms that you started in your own bodies, with your own stuff, in the roadside inn, the Sword Coast in Faerun. And that's where we're gonna end Sexy Battle Wizards today.
Oh boy.
What a wholesome, family-friendly.
The ending
Okay.
made up for everything.
Yep. I had to make up for all of Sean.
Hey, I'm not the
Time.
one who humped a cannon on stage.
Look, it was a competition.
Ain't no losing in Hal's mind.
No.
And that
As the professor of sexy battle wizards, I had to give it my all.
and that, to the best of my ability, was Sexy Battle Wizards, the one-page tabletop RPG written by Grant Howitt, run by me,
Yay.
Roll
played and
credits.
improv by all these fools. Thanks, everybody. That was a fun game.
Yep.
I
That's
hope
right,
you
Phil.
all had a lot of fun playing. I had a lot of fun running. This game is a very loose interpretation of GMing, which I usually do, as you can tell. But that was a lot of fun. And thanks everybody out there in chat for watching and commenting all your funny jokes in chat. It was very fun. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're over time already because I wanted to give everyone the dramatic ending they deserved. But check out our streaming schedule. It's on our Twitch page if you're watching this live down below us. It's also, you can find all of our stuff on our website. It's also pinned to our Twitch. We have a ton of stuff going on all the time. So yeah, we appreciate all of you, and I love you personally. And thanks for hanging out and watching us, and giving us an audience to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be like this in 2 weeks when I'm in charge, but this is a very high bar that Savannah has set. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks.
Is it?
Can we ever achieve this level of greatness?
The sexiness bar has been set.
Will it ever be this
True.
sexy again? We don't know. But tune in to all of our other streams to find out, because you never know when we're gonna get this sexy again. But yeah, thanks everybody. This was really fun. I love running these games, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to do so. Thanks for playing in them. Thanks our friends for watching them. This week we've got a lot of fun stuff going on. We're gonna have Matropony tomorrow, probably Wednesday on Wednesday, Craft Night on Thursday. So lots of stuff going on in the next few days, and probably some stuff that's not on the schedule as well. Does anybody want to plug anything they're doing before we go away? Sean, I know you're doing your. You want to talk about the Kickstarter?
I'm gonna plug this until it's done. Yeah, I'm doing a project with Dark Galaxies Gaming. We are currently working on a 5th edition module called Tales of Doldaria. Head over to at Dark Galaxies Gaming on Twitter. You can they have a link to their Patreon with an announcement and everything that's going on with the project and what it's all about. And if you can support it, if you're interested in it, do so. Even just $1 helps. And when the Patreon or when the Kickstarter goes live, I'll be plugging this more then, and hopefully y'all can support it and make sure this actually gets to happen. So yeah.
Most excellent. And yeah, I think that's everything with us that's going on outside GGK right now. But yeah, all of our other stuff is on YouTube. There's like 1 million hours of stuff that you can watch on our YouTube and follow us on Twitch and subscribe if you like what we're doing, and also donate and follow us on Twitter and follow all these fools on Twitter because we're always tweeting about what we're doing. And Dylan, everybody,
Yay!
how long has it been since this?
Appearance.
Some of you that are watching the stream might not have even seen this face, but here he
Yeah,
is, crawling up from the depths.
I know.
Layers of Fear, and then before that, there was the Halo, but before that, it was Misrule, right?
Yeah.
For like one session.
Yeah, like the first one. Yeah,
First couple sessions.
he's been on this channel the whole
I have. But actually, my schedule should be opening up in the next week. So
boy. He's back in town.
the boy is back in town. So you might be seeing my face a little bit more often.
Yeah, and we're all
Cool.
very excited. But yeah, we've got a ton of stuff going on. Join us tomorrow and probably every other day this week for some stuff streaming here on GGK. But until we see you next time, good game and stay sexy, internet.
Stay sexy, internet.
And turn up the suck.
Turn up the